What's up, everybody? I'm Mckenty. This is my second channel, and this is your home for my Twitch highlights and my podcast. So if you like this and you want to see more of that and you want to join the live streams, there's a link to that in the description of this video. And with that out of the way, it is time for another installment of Cringing with Metal TikTok. Although the first TikTok that we're about to watch is not cringeworthy, it's actually great. Actually, it's sort of vicariously cringing. This is a parody of Emo Girl by MGK featuring Willow. This is called Butt Rock Girl. It's by Cliff Diver.
When you order MGK featuring Willow on Wish.
Good reference, right? Theory of a Dead Man. Very, very good reference.
She drinks a Monster every night, and she knows all the words to the trap songs.
I like that. You know, the original song is she knows all the words to the trap songs, like trap rap. A lot of people misheard that as the trapped songs, like the Headstrong band, and they just went with it. Very clever. Buck Cherry's guitar tech. All I want is a butt rock girl. 10 out of 10. That's what I give that song. Butt Rock Girl by Cliff Diver. Well done. I was waiting for somebody to do some sort of a parody of this. You know, people joked about it, but they did it. That is what happens, my friends, when you have a little bit of creativity. Well done. Very high quality content. And yeah, somehow, even though it's about Buck Cherry, Hinder, and Trapped, somehow it is less cringe than the original. That's what's amazing. Yes, I feel like this was tailor-made for me. I do. I feel like they made this legitimately with like me specifically in mind. Like they made a song just for me, and I'm a fan. Well done. Next one, me listening to angsty music 24/7. This is you know, some sort of late 20s office worker type girl sitting at her desk. Let's see what she's listening to. Everyone in my life wondering if I'm mentally and emotionally okay. I feel like this is like a whole genre of TikToks of like pretty relatively normie girls listening to metalcore is like a whole genre of TikToks. And it kind of reminds me of this subreddit, which is one of my favorites. UNBGBBIIVCHIDCTIICBG upvoted not because girl, but because it is very cool. However, I do concede that I initially clicked because girl. It's kind of how I feel about this genre of TikTok. Maybe their Chinese algorithm fed me a bunch of stuff with girls because they know that I'm a man and they think that I want to see pretty girls. But I feel like that's sort of like the whole genre of TikTok is it's not thirst trap. The premise of the joke is that a normie girl listens to metalcore. Like that's the joke. But you know what? I'm okay with it. And everyone in my life wondering if I'm mentally and emotionally okay. Let's be honest. They're right to wonder. Because you might be able to fool people with your normie clothes, with your balayage hair, with the house plants here and your trendy circular mirror. You may be able to fool them, but no, you're not fooling me. I know that you and all the rest of us, nobody listens to this stuff if they're mentally stable. So you're not fooling me. But still, I approve of it. Would it be a thirst trap if it was a dude making it? Yes, absolutely. I mean, what do you think fucking Johnny Gilbert is? Let's look at Johnny Gilbert and you will see. I hate how good looking he is, actually. It makes me angry. I resent him for being so good looking. This is basically the male version of that. When she wants a bad boy and you look the part, but you're actually a pussy who can barely talk to anyone without having anxiety. That is the male version of the same TikTok. He is a thirst trap. It's okay. I mean, he even thirst traps me. I'll admit it. He's too pretty. I know. Johnny Gilbert is all I ever wanted to be too. I'm sad, but that ship has sailed. This one's not a thirst trap, but I do find it kind of interesting to see how many women are making content like this. And it's a good thing because one of the kind of defining characteristics to me of the MySpace era was how many women were into this stuff. Obviously, like in the 90s or even like the early 2000s, there were like zero girls into metal. I mean, obviously, they're out there, but like very, 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 very few. But then around the MySpace era, I started to see a lot of girls into that stuff. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. And it's a good thing because women are 50% of the population, right? It's healthy for there to be a diverse range of people into any given thing, right? We don't just want it to be like 28-year-old white dudes with beards, like as far as the fucking eye can see. You want it to be diverse. So I found that very interesting in the MySpace era. That went away for a while. Metalcore became just a total sausage fest of like dudes with fucking beards. And it's interesting to see now on TikTok, you're starting to see content like this. And this girl's, not a thirst trap, obviously. She's just like a girl being goofy. But it's interesting to see how many women are into this stuff now. And I think that is kind of a sign that makes me think like, okay, the genre is in a good place again because it's not just dudes with beards. This one is pretty funny. My favorite part of this song, and I guess this is a song by Paleface. What is that? Whoa! Is that like a Ric Flair reference or something? I'm a fan of this song and of this content. Again, this reminds me of like MySpace shit. It's just fun. It's silly. They're not taking it seriously. She's just being goofy. She's just like, wait, what? What was that? And it reminds me of the same spirit I saw on MySpace back then that made me like that stuff so much. Just young kids, in their parents' basement or whatever, making silly content like this. I'm into it. I think it's cool. Next, boomer metalheads on TikTok be like.
My generation had mosh pits. Your generation has safe spaces. My wife and kids recently left me.
Yeah, we have watched this guy before. He goes by unfunny metalhead, but actually he is quite funny. So the first part he says, my generation had mosh pits. Your generation has safe spaces. Isn't it funny how the people who complain the most about snowflakes and safe spaces, like, they seem to be the ones who are the most offended, right? I mean, I think that stuff is cringe and stupid too, but it seems like they spend a lot more time crying about safe spaces and snowflakes than the supposed snowflakes do. And then, of course, the punchline is, my wife and kids recently left me. And that's the sad part. These fucking boomers, it's like all they have is their goddamn battle vest. They put all their fucking points into defending classic metal or whatever the fuck they wrap their identity around. And meanwhile, the rest of their life is burning down, but it's okay because I've got beer and I've got my Exodus t-shirt and that's all that matters. So this is from Alex Bracken. Dude, what type of music do you listen to? You ask someone that and they say heavy metal. And you're like, oh shit, me too? Who are your favorite bands? Creed, Nickelback, Five Finger Death Punch, and I know a couple songs by Nirvana. See, I feel like this is the most subtle troll if you were ever to do that. Like if someone ever asked me, what kind of music you listen to, and I could tell they're a metalhead, I'd be like, oh, Screamo, like Slayer, Exodus, Pantera, Screamo. Just because, it'd make black smoke shoot out of their ears if you misgenre one of their bands. I mean, that's like the cardinal sin, right? They take their genres so seriously. It's a strange thing to me. Why do people get so hung up on genres? Like, is it that important to you that we all agree that this band is categorized as the same thing? Caring what other people listen to in general is really dumb. Caring what genre label people apply to a band is even dumber. Can't gatekeep something that doesn't have a label. I think that's probably it. This haircut looks good on anyone, male or female. I agree. It does. It is a good haircut. We like words to describe what our personalities are based on. I think that's what it is. I think people like categorizing things into genres because people love to itemize things so they're easy to conceptualize. I agree. It's important to me because I like to stereotype people, right? As you know, this is my gift. Like, fans of X or Y are like this, right? I exist to stereotype. That is my gift. And by the same token, it delights me to miscategorize things that other people like just to see them get upset. It's one of the small things in life. I just enjoy deliberately misgenreing music. Okay, I thought this was pretty interesting. You guys know the pop punk accent, right? Like the Tom DeLonge pop punk accent, and people like, debate where it came from. So this girl made this TikTok, my quick pop punk accents research proposal breakdown. She is a linguist. Has a linguist ever done a study on that weird fucking accent pop punk people sing with? This is a reply to the comment. Isn't it just Billy Joe from Green Day emulating Joe Strummer, which influenced Blink-182, and then everything came after that? Well, turns out she has a very long and interesting answer to this question.
So a lot of you seem to think that the only question here is, where did this accent come from? How did this accent originate? And while the answer...
The first thing I noticed, her accent, so she's from like Chicago probably, or maybe the west side of Cincinnati. The Jack's Backpack Shack accent, I want to know where that came from.
anthropological history of the accent is very cool and worthy of including in the research. It's really not the entire picture. OP didn't ask where does that accent come from. They said, has anybody ever done a study on that accent? Why are you singing like that? It begs the question, why does this particular accent work so well for this genre of music? And how do different variations of this accent stem off into subgenres under the same pop-punk umbrella?
This is the part I really liked. Listen to this. This is my kind of content.
You see, a pop-punk accent is different than a Midwestern emo accent, is different than a scene accent.
Exactly. And I thought, now what is a scene accent? I want to know. I'm sure it's a thing. And I'm sure after she pointed it out, I would go, oh, you're totally right. I never realized there's a scene accent.
So there's really a lot more to it than the Brits and the Midwesterners battling it out trying to copy each other's accents. That is subjective. We need to make this objective, and that's what my degree is in. I'm talking nasal resonation versus glottal resonation, like measuring hertz and high-pitch versus low-pitch vocals. And I'm talking like visual scoping of vocal fold vibrations and mapping out the difference in talking versus singing.
This is my kind of content. Over-intellectualizing some sort of random subcultural thing that was never important in the first place. I am genuinely excited too.
A lot of research comes from taking a subjective question and turning it in.
See, look. She said a lot of research comes from taking a subjective question and turning it into objective data. Look, does this look familiar? You know my charts? This is my kind of girl. Respect. Rough and not totally accurate yet draft of a 4-quadrant scatter plot that I will make look much better. Respect.
Yeah, sure, a lot of us know in theory where this accent came from, but trust me when I tell you there is so much more to it.
Rachel, respect. One person who overanalyzes subcultural content to the other. Carry on, my friend. Carry on. Now, we all know how annoying metal dudes are, right? The worst. But what I found interesting is that, according to this guy, metal girls are just as bad. This is when you take a metalhead girl out. First of all, why in the fuck would you ever do that? But let's hear what he has to say. Plays Metallica. This music is trash. Give me the aux. Plays Enter Sandstorm. Do you know Metallica? They're really good. The end, based on a true story. So basically what he's saying is that metalhead girls are insufferable nerds, just like metalhead guys. I've never made the mistake of taking a metalhead girl out, so I wouldn't know. But why would you do that? Especially if you're this dude. This dude looks like such a bro, right? He's wearing like a Salty Crew shirt, like a dad hat. He looks like such a bro. Why in the world would he ever want to fuck with a metal girl? Why? Although I will say, the first time I hung out with my wife, she was listening to Born of Osiris in her car. She was driving, I was visiting here, she was driving us around. She was listening to Born of Osiris the whole time. So maybe I did make the mistake. Maybe I married a metal girl mistakenly. Big mistake. What have I done? The important takeaway here is that it's not just metal dudes who are insufferable gatekeeping nerds. Apparently, it is also metal girls who do the same. So there you go. Metal dudes will fetishize women who listen to metal, then immediately belittle their tastes. Exactly. Here's another TikTok that, this one's sort of interesting. How people think we listen to metal. And this girl is like moshing in her room to Lorna Shore. How we actually do. She's just reading some cat manga on her bed. There's a couple things here. First of all, her moshing is unbelievably bad. Like, I feel like she has never seen anyone mosh in her whole life. This is just truly shameful moshing, even for a joke. Truly shameful. Am I gatekeeping her moshing? Maybe I am, but just saying. And then second, the joke is kind of the same thing of like, oh, I'm normal, but I'm listening to metal. It's interesting how much of a sort of trope this is. So much of this content, the joke, the punchline is like, LOL, I listen to metal, but I'm not weird. Kind of interesting. Exactly. She could have at least drop kicked one of those stuffed animals during the mosh. I agree. So I get it. I respect the effort, but I think she should, well, shit, what do I know? She got 300,000 likes on this TikTok. So what the fuck do I know? If I was going to redo this TikTok, I would go watch some moshing tutorials on YouTube and I would redo it with some better moshing. That's what I would do. But still, respect. You get it. All right. This one. How to piss off the metalcore kids. Break down blue balls. That might piss them off. But I'll tell you, from experience, if you really want to piss off the metalcore kids, all you need to do is criticize gentcore. Criticize bands that sound like Architects. That is how to piss off the metalcore kids. I can tell you from experience, nothing gets them heated up like that. This might get you somewhere, but just make a video in which you say that the latest band called like, you know, some sort of plural noun is not the best thing ever, and then you will feel their fury. Yeah, just call it Architects Core, and they'll make them mad. So this one says, everyone wants to date a metalhead until wears all black, screams while driving, serenades you with Slipknot, plays Dying Fetus during sex. Here's my question. Yeah. Who wants to date a metalhead? Who are all these people out there other than other metal dudes saying, oh, I wish I could find a metal guy. That's really what I would want. If only my dreams would come true and I could date a metal guy. Here's a good question. A question that occurred to me a long time ago. Did you ever think about the fact that one day the oldies radio stations will be playing Slipknot? I did think about that, and we're pretty much almost here. I went to Target the other day, and they had Slipknot shirts next to like the N64 and Dunder Mifflin shirts. We are here. I'm sorry, Chiaz, if that's how you say it. It's not one day. We are here. Slipknot is dad rock. Slipknot has been a band for what, 30 years or something, 28 years or something now. They are dad rock. I'm sorry to break it to you, but we are here. So here's an example of what I was talking about of the thirst trap kind of content, right? This is the try not to headbang challenge, where she's standing in a room in front of her dorky Funko Pops, just happens to have her shirt open like this. The try not to headbang challenge. Uh-oh, she failed that one. She failed the arf arf. I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is either. I don't recognize most of these. This is Attila. Exactly. This is exactly what I thought of. OG Loco. Okay. She's trying not to headbang. This is a day to remember. Okay. This is exactly what I thought. This is 2007 content. This reminded me of all the like best breakdown compilations on YouTube, you know, back in the day, the 240p breakdown compilations. That's what this reminded me of. And overall, when I see like the metalcore and scene stuff on TikTok, that's what it feels like. It feels like we've returned to that. Reject modernity, embrace tradition. And we've gone back to the good old days of 240p breakdown videos. I discovered easycore from some video on YouTube called like top 10 best popcore breakdowns or something like that. And I was like, oh, there's a thing called easycore. That was my introduction to it in like 2009, I think. Here's another one. Andrew Baina. Shout out to Andrew Baina. Great guy. Another thing that needs to come back from the 2000s is the movie and TV samples before a breakdown, right? There's so many good ones. And I absolutely love Ozark, and I love Ruth on Ozark. One of the best TV characters like ever. She's incredible. And it just so happens that her line from Ozark makes a pretty fucking good breakdown call. Would have been perfect as a movie sample before breakdown in 2008.
If you want to stop me, you're gonna have to fucking
It works. Good stuff. And shout out to Andrew Baina. He has had so much success on TikTok. Super cool to see. Great guy. That's right. The Mortician albums have more samples than actual music. Again, all I'm seeing here is a return to the majestic days of the 2000s metalcore and deathcore scene, when life was better, when we had breakdown compilations, when we had movie samples. We didn't know what we had. Okay, here's another one. This is when e-girls go to a metal show for the first time.
This is the unit.
Where
you saw
are
and-
all the hot people? I was told that there would be all these attractive singles,
Who
and as
told
far
you
as
that?
I can tell, I'm the best looking person here.
First of all, I sort of question how many e-girls are going to a metalcore show looking for hot guys. Does that happen? Maybe it does. I don't know. I don't know very many e-girls. So I couldn't say, but this is the truth. If any e-girl made the mistake of going to a metalcore show or going to a metal show looking for a hot guy, I'm sorry, sister. You made a miscalculation. That's right. Then the realization sets in and they set up their OnlyFans and start listening to EDM. I just go to the shows to enjoy the music. As a woman, please don't try to creep on me. Same goes for the guys. Say, excuse me, ladies. I'm just here for the music. Back the fuck up. Stay the fuck away from me. I did not want your advances. I just came to here to see dying fetus, not to get groped by you. All right, so back the fuck up. Now, my friend Brian and I are leaving. Thank you very much. Don't try to follow us. That's why I wear my Not Tonight Ladies shirt at every metal show. Exactly, because if you don't, you know the girls are going to be all over you. All these e-girls showing up to metal shows, creeping on guys. I'm sick of it. Stay away from me. Be gone, Jezebel. Be gone. This is the same girl I saw before. Shout out to this girl because this is one of the best samples I've ever heard. I kind of want to steal it.
Fuck you and fuck your stupid, shitty fucking band.
Story of my life. And again, this band, based on what I heard, I mean, it's only 4 seconds, but based on what I heard, that band totally sounds like it's from 2009, right? I just feel like we've returned to 2009 here on TikTok. And I'm here for it. It's all I ever wanted. Set the time machine for 2009, press go, and I'm never coming back. Okay, and the last one, a heavy dose of truth. This is the only one that is pure truth. So many of the TikToks we've watched tonight are delusional. All these delusional metalheads wishing for a world that does not exist. But this one is the truth, and I will play it for you. Mic drop. What kind of music do you like? Oh, I love metal music. It's my favorite. Oh, cool. How did you get into that?
Emotional damage.
That's the truth. Emotional damage. Nobody got into bands called Hatebreed or Cannibal Corpse or Terror or Buried Alive or Throwdown or Necrophagist because they're normal or happy. That is the truth. So the sooner that you admit it, the better. That's just the truth. All right, my friends, that does it for this edition of Cringing with Metal TikTok.